Hey everyone, it's Jamie. So the wonderful and very generous people at Thinx sent me a pair of their period panties after watching my video about how my period came back. Now, there's no guarantee I will actually get a chance to use them because my period isn't back consistently and it kind of came back for a few months and then it didn't happen again. Although, if you're watching this video, it means that I did get my period again and this is the review. Yay and nay. But at least I got the chance to try them out, and if they're good, then hopefully it will help some of you. I don't know when the review will be. I just thought I would film this little bit beforehand to talk about my first impressions of the company and the packaging. My first impression of the packaging is that it is not discreet in any way, shape or form. I don't think it even knows what the word discreet means. It has underwear written on the customs declaration, and I spent ages looking at the address label and that side of the packet to see if I could figure out what was inside, because I kind of had a rough idea of what it was. If it was what I thought it was, I didn't want to open it until I had to, basically, so I wanted to confirm. And then I turned the packet over and this is what I saw. So yes, definitely what I thought it was. Now, although cute and quite diverse in the different little legs that are drawn and everything, very obvious what's inside with the brand name written underneath. Although very obvious it's underwear, it's not obvious what the underwear is for unless somebody were to Google the brand name. Secondly, I've been sent the boy short version, which is the gender neutral option of pants, and they have used a trans guy as a model for the pants, so they're definitely trying to be trans inclusive, which is great to see. However, the slogan when you go on the website is period panties for the modern woman, which I think clashes with the trans inclusive message from elsewhere. So I think there's definitely very good efforts made to be trans inclusive, but just as a warning, if you're gonna go on the website, there are a few aspects of it that feel very kind of cis female orientated. I want to give a completely honest review so that you guys can make up your decision on whether you want to buy them. I'm not paid for this at all. They've just sent me a pair of underwear and I'm going to try them out and give my 100% honest review of every aspect. I will be back at some point in the future to do the review, or maybe not, but if I'm not, you'll never see this anyway. So I will be back at some point in the future to do this review. Yeah, so I will be back soonish at some point. Bye! Guess who's back again. My period. Well, obviously, because I'm here continuing the review video, I made that initial clip that you just saw at the beginning a couple months ago now, and I thought maybe I was safe, but I'm not. So it happened yesterday, like late evening, but what I wanted to do is wear them for a full day, like during the day. And then what I would normally do is like just keep my pair of boxers on or whatever when I go to bed. So depending on how it goes, that's what I might do with these. I wear them to bed as well, but we're gonna see how it goes first because I'm not sure. So I can finally open this parcel that I received a long time ago. Oh, it's very, very tough. Sturdy packaging. So inside we have this. And it says, we like to say hashtag know your flow. When it's light or medium, Thinx can replace, and that's a tampon, a moon cup thingy, and a pad. Believe it, when your flow is heavy, Thinx can back up a tampon and a moon cuppy thing. I went for a medium. I was a bit confused on the sizing because like some of my sizes matched up with one size and other of my measurements matched up with a different size. So I went for a bigger size, and also I wear medium in boxers, so I didn't want them to be like insanely tight if I had to wear them all day and everything. Ooh. They are much softer than I thought they would be. They feel like swim shorts and they look quite big. They genuinely feel like kind of swimsuit material and they're quite thick, like you can tell there's layers in there. I'm gonna go try them on now because it's time to. And then basically you're just gonna see clips of me throughout the day talking about them, and then I'll summarize them at the end of this video. Yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, so they are now on and they fit. They fit surprisingly well. Like, they're not super tight around my waist, but I don't feel like they're gonna fall down. I don't feel like I'm wearing swim shorts, which I was worried I might feel like given the material. Sorry, I'm just like touching my bum off camera. They feel thicker than pants and a bit tighter. They definitely feel quite secure. I was really worried that I was just gonna feel like I was like thrown into not wearing anything, like a pad or anything like that, and it's just gonna feel really weird to not have anything and feel like I was just gonna like eek everywhere. But it doesn't feel like that actually. Two extra things I thought of that were important. One, in terms of how heavy my flow is. It's kind of middle-ish, so it's not really light, but it's not particularly heavy. And also, I just put my jeans back on over the top, and that feels a bit weird. The jeans kind of like slip. They're such like a silky material. My jeans are just like, boop, off my bum. Period log 1. I'm not going to introduce them all like that. So I've sat down for the first time. I've been wearing them for about half an hour now, and sitting down, I definitely feel more aware that they are thicker and a different material to like normal pants, but I do feel very dry and they're comfortable. It's going good so far. Yeah. They make my jeans slip down. Okay, so I have taken a nap for a bit of today, and I'm about to go to the toilet for the first time. Let's see how this goes. I've just got back from going to the toilet, and I don't think I'm overwhelmed with impressedness. I've been wearing them for about 3.5 hours. I have been sitting down for most of that time. So I go to the toilet, I pull my pants down, and I can see the dark patch on them where I have bled. And I dab it with a bit of tissue and the stuff comes off, so it's not completely dry. It hasn't gone through the layers. Like, I definitely don't feel like I'm gonna leak onto trousers or anything. But then when I'm done on the loo and I pull them back up, TMI, they do feel cold and a little bit damp. I'll keep you updated. Also, I did just want to add that despite the kind of negatives that I ran over in the last clip, it was really nice to not have to change anything when I went to the toilet. And I could imagine that if I wasn't doing a review and therefore thinking about it constantly anyway, it would be really nice to just go to the toilet, do my business, and then pull my pants back up and that be it. I do feel like it cuts out that bit in the middle where you have to change something that would make you feel uncomfortable, so I definitely think that's a big positive. I have cramps. But the pants are still doing their job, but I have cramps. Yes, I'm still sitting in the same place. Yes, I still have cramps, but we're getting Nando's, yay! So I'm gonna test these pants in the wide, open world. Kind of. We're gonna drive to town and then walk to Nando's and then walk back to the car and drive home. And I will let you know how it goes, because Shelby and I are both perioding and we have cravings. Okay, so we got Nando's, and it feels really weird being out and knowing that stuff is happening but not actually feeling like I'm wearing anything for it, but also good at the same time. Okay, so we are back from Nando's. I did vlog a little bit in town, so you'll have seen that. And yeah, it felt normal. I still have cramps. It feels very weird. Like I'm gonna leak, but I haven't. They do still feel slightly odd because they're quite thick, and as I mentioned, they're that kind of swimsuit material. But seriously, apart from that, it's been just like wearing normal pants. I went to the bathroom a second time just before we left, and when I pulled them up, they didn't feel any more damp than they had the first time. So it's kind of like it's keeping up, it's not accumulating in grossness. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt that maybe I'm a little bit heavier than for what you'd normally be with wearing them on their own. So yeah, that's how it's going so far. Good. It's been a couple hours since we have food. It's now 10 o'clock at night, and I completely forgot that anything was happening and that I was wearing anything until I needed to go pee again. I'm now at the point where I would quite like to take them off. I am starting to feel like they're reaching capacity or something. I don't know how to describe it. I don't feel like they're gonna leak at all. They're definitely holding up really well in that department, but they are starting to feel more damp and they're just not very comfortable anymore. Definitely won't be wearing them to bed. I have stuck it out for another hour and a bit since I made the last clip. It's about 11:30 at night, and I am gonna take them off now. I can't stop thinking about the fact that my period is going directly onto these pants that I'm wearing that are staying damp, and I just really feel like I wanna change. So I've been wearing them since 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's now 11:30, 9.5 hours. I think they've been pretty good. I'm happy, I felt quite comfortable in them. I've liked not having to change something. So I've changed back to a pad, and the pants are currently in the wash. I have to say that washing them out was not the most pleasant experience. I could just kind of see the blood running out and it was a bit gross and not very lovely. But I can definitely feel the difference between wearing the pants and wearing a pad, and directly comparing them one after the other. Pads are definitely a lot more noticeable that you're wearing something than the pants, so they definitely win on discreetness and comfortability. Comfortability a word? I don't even know at this point. It's really late. Okay, it is the end of the next day. I went back to my regular pad wearing today because I washed these pants yesterday evening, but they were still very wet in the morning. So I turned them inside out and like flipped them around and stuff. Left them to dry for the rest of the day. They were still kind of damp when I got home at like 9:30. So I turned them around again so they could dry from a different position, and they're dry in time. What I'm gonna do is test them out wearing them to bed tonight. I suspect it's gonna be a lot more comfortable than wearing pads. I am kind of looking forward to it, not gonna lie. I will let you guys know how it went in the morning. So good night. Yeah. Well, that was awkward. Okay, so I have reached the end of my experience with trying out Thinx, and I wore them for a whole day and a whole night, but not together because I had to wash them. The nighttime was amazing. My period was much, much lighter last night than it was the day I wore the pants, and it was so comfortable in comparison to wearing pads to bed. It was like nothing was happening and they were completely dry in the morning. Yeah, fantastic, loved it. So I'm essentially just gonna go over some pros and cons and then give my concluding remarks over my experience with the pants. Some pros, they are very comfortable. They do just feel like a slightly thicker pair of pants. It's like a bum hug because they're kind of tight and like fitting to your body, obviously, because they need to like catch stuff, but they're not so tight that you're like constantly aware that you're wearing something that's quite body fitting and tight. They're not like Spanx. Oh, actually, I've never worn Spanx. I definitely forgot I was wearing them quite a lot of the time. Apart from the slight dampness when I would pull them up, I didn't feel that really throughout the day, unless I was thinking about making these little clips for you guys. I didn't think about the fact I was wearing anything, and it was lovely to go to the toilet and not have to change anything. Like, that felt great. I had no leaks. I wasn't even particularly worried about leaking. A massive positive for me is that they are completely silent. So if you are in public or you are around somebody's house and you don't want to announce that you're on your period and you don't want anybody to know, they are really just like pants that soak up the blood. You don't need to like make any crinkly sounds or have anything that you need to throw out. And particularly if you wear pads, you'll know that they're quite loud to open and to change. And then you need to throw the old one out somewhere, and if you're in a situation where that's difficult, these pants are amazing. Some negatives, I would say they're quite pricey. The boy shorts I'm wearing are just under $40 each, and personally I would want 3 pairs if I was gonna wear them regularly, and that's nearly $120, which is quite a big hit in one go. But saying that, if they can completely replace other things that you would buy for being on your period, they would pay for themselves after some time. It's just whether you are able to afford that big lump sum at that time. Although you could buy 1 pair at a time and then kind of build yourself up to wearing them all the time. So it's definitely not like a massive negative, but obviously things like price are always going to play a part in whether people are going to be interested or able to buy things. They did feel slightly damp whenever I went to the toilet. Did kind of expect them to be drier, but I'm perfectly willing to accept that maybe I was just heavier for the maximum recommended amount of flow for wearing them by themselves. I would also say that for a lazy laundry doer, me, yeah, guilty, the washing system is more complicated than normal pants. They need to be hand rinsed in cold water first, which is not the most pleasant experience because depending on how heavy you are, you can see blood running out of them. And then they need to be washed on a cold wash, and then obviously they need to dry. And finally, this isn't something I experienced, but I just thought it was important to include, they are not fragranced in any way. Like, you know when you open pads and you are like practically smacked in the face by the smell? Obviously there is nothing like that with these pants. They are completely unscented, so I don't know if it might be a concern for some people that they could smell after some time because there's no like masking fragrance or something. It's not really a real negative because there's no way to avoid that. I'd much prefer that they were unscented than scented, but I just thought I'd let you guys know. So in conclusion, concluding remarks, I am impressed overall. If I was somebody who regularly got their period, I would definitely consider buying a couple more pairs so that I could essentially just switch over to wearing the pants. I do think they would be a fantastic alternative. There are obviously things to consider, like how heavy your flow is, whether you are comfortable wearing things like tampons and menstrual cups to back it up on your heavier days, whether you'd be comfortable with how to wash them, and whether they are affordable for you. But I think if you are lighter or medium flow and you can afford them and you're looking for an alternative that might be more comfortable than wearing things like pads, you should definitely consider these. I do really like them. I will make use of the pants if ever I get another visit. Fingers crossed I don't, but if I ever do, I've got something that is far more comfortable than pads, and overall I've been really happy with my experience with them. I think that's it. I hope that you guys have found this useful and have enjoyed being with me during my period. No, that sounds weird. I haven't enjoyed it. I hope it's been enlightening, me vlogging my experience of having a period and using these pants. I will put a link to the website in the description because I have been very impressed, so you guys can go check them out for yourselves. Also, all my links to my social media are down there as well, so if you want to come follow me and see what I'm up to on a more regular basis, go for it. Yeah, that's it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!